Welcome to the April 2022 issue of Canola Quick Bytes, brought to you by the U.S. Canola Association. No foolin'. Capitol Hill. The White House Office of Management and Budget completed its review of the canola renewable diesel pathway for the Renewable Fuel Standard proposal from the Environmental Protection Agency. The next step is for the agency to issue a notice or proposed rule for public comment, which could occur any day. In March, Congress finally passed an omnibus appropriations package for fiscal year 2022. Enactment of new appropriations bills for fiscal year 22, rather than a continuing resolution for the year, is significant for canola interests. The agriculture appropriations portion of the omnibus includes the following canola priorities: $2 million for the National Institute of Food and Agriculture's Supplemental and Alternatives Crops Program, which funds the National Canola Research Program. This is a $1 million increase or doubling of funding above the previous year. Funding for the Sclerotinia initiative is maintained at $2.4 million. The Omnibus Appropriations Package provides a 7% increase in domestic non-defense spending, and the agriculture portion received a 6% increase. The legislation contains $3.5 billion for agricultural research, a $217 million increase from fiscal year 21. That total includes $1.6 billion for the Agricultural Research Service, which was $142 million above fiscal year 21. The National Institute of Food and Agriculture, which funds outside research through universities and other entities, was also funded at $1.6 billion, an increase of $67 million over fiscal year 21. The bill would provide $550 million in additional funding to the U.S. Department of Agriculture for rural broadband. Some $487 million would go to its Reconnect grant and loan program. The fiscal year 22 funding is in addition to the $2 billion earmarked for Reconnect under the bipartisan infrastructure law enacted last fall. In March meetings with their Mexican and Canadian counterparts, officials from the U.S. Trade Representative Office again emphasized the need for a science-based process and determinations for biotech crop traits in accordance with the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement. Mexico has not approved any agricultural biotech traits since 2018, creating a bottleneck that is now blocking canola traits as well as dozens of other traits for corn, soybeans, potatoes, and apples. The U.S. Canola Association urged action to avert further supply chain disruptions with Canada in a letter with 20 major agricultural organizations to President Joe Biden. It asked him to engage with Canadian leaders to avert a railway labor strike and rescind or modify cross-border vaccine mandates that would further disrupt the movement of agricultural products. Agronomy. A new tool is available for growers to assess the risk of pod shattering in their canola cultivars. It helps producers make better harvest timing decisions, analyze crop losses, and understand their options if they choose to delay harvesting. The tool works by choosing two designated checks, 45H33 and L255PC, which anchor the numerical or descriptive claim based on seed provider data. The seeds in the graph depict a greater potential for pod shattering at low ratings. They do not represent the exact amounts of seeds that could shatter out, rather the relative trend in shatter risk. Nutrition. Why is canola oil healthier than other cooking oils? It contains the most alpha-linolenic acid, omega-3 fat, which helps protect the heart through its effects on cholesterol, blood pressure, and inflammation, according to India.com. Alpha-linolenic acid is essential to include in the diet because the human body does not make it on its own. Canola oil also has a light texture and neutral taste. Other country news. CP Rail and the Teamsters Canada Rail Conference have restarted Canadian Pacific Railway operations after agreeing to a binding arbitration ending work stoppage on March 22nd. The shutdown caused canola crush plants in Western Canada to scale back operations, which caused them to experience preventions and delays in executing customer contracts, according to the Canadian Oilseed Processors Association. Canola production estimates are expected to continue to drop, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. This decrease is due to weather challenges in South America and global tensions due to the war in Ukraine. The latest estimate says that U.S. canola oil imports decreased to 3.98 billion pounds, 0.42 billion pounds less than last year due to the lower supply in Canada. Manitoba farmer Les Wedderburn reported a robbery of 1,600 bushels of canola valued at $40,000 after he noticed a pickup truck leaving his property. He is now investing in a full security system and warning other farmers in the area. Latest industry news. The Energy Information Administration added new forecasts of renewable diesel and other biofuels to its short-term energy outlook. Renewable diesel contributes to renewable volume obligations for biomass-based diesel under the Environmental Protection Agency's Renewable Fuel Standard. As a result, the administration expects U.S. production capacity of renewable diesel to nearly triple by the end of 2023, which will cause the demand for canola to rise significantly. Mike Jubenville, agricultural commodity analyst with Markets Farm, said that despite record values, underlying farm markets continue to support prices for Canadian canola. World vegetable oil stocks are getting tight due to the closure of major export routes in the Black Sea, and the war in Ukraine is causing canola prices to rise. But Jubenville noted there's a great deal of underlying support to the market. The Pacific Northwest Canola Association released a new video called Canola in the Pacific Northwest From Farm to Table, which explains what canola is and how it is grown and processed into food and feed products at the Viterra Expeller Crushing Facility in eastern Washington. It is available on YouTube and PNWCA and USDA websites. It was funded by the U.S. Canola Association and Viterra North America. About the USDA. The U.S. Canola Association held its spring board and membership meeting online March 7th. As of April 2022, new producer directors Jeff Mortensen of Minnesota and Karen Eifert-Jones of Oklahoma will replace longtime director Rob Renning of Minnesota and Tyson Good of Kansas. A special in-person meeting will be in Minot, North Dakota, July 7th through 8th, and the autumn board meeting will be in Scottsdale, Arizona, November 9th through 11th. Details are forthcoming on uscanola.com. Get social with us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Want to promote your products or services to canola producers and industry members? Visit our advertising pages at uscanola.com to advertise in this monthly e-newsletter or podcast.